Look at this jetway to board Singapore Airlines Flight 181 from Brunei to Singapore. I have never seen a jet bridge like this. Holy cow. This is amazing. I've never seen anything like this for a jet bridge. I feel like I'm in a small palace. Thank you. Okay, now we're actually to the real jet bridge. Wow, that was quite a impressive walkway. That must be like the VIP greeting room when a head of state arrives here. Well, good morning. 11:53 a.m. aboard Singapore Airlines Flight 181, Boeing 777-300 service from Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei to Singapore. We are departing 2 minutes early this morning, and after a 6-day delay, I am finally on board a plane, pushing back from gate number 1 at BWN. Now, somewhere in these hangars on the opposite side of the runway are the royal jets, including a new Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental that was just delivered here to the Sultan in October, I believe, after 4 years of customization in Waco, Texas. And apparently there were some issues there where the plane was thought completed, went on some test flights, and the Sultan or his staff were not satisfied, and 10 months of additional work had to be done to correct the problems. Fortunately, do not see any of the hangars open today. If I'd been here yesterday, I could have seen the King of Bahrain's Boeing 747 as he departed from Brunei after a state visit. He was at the Sultan's Palace 2 nights ago when I was walking by outside the front gate. Captain came on and said we will be departing on runway 21. So that will put us on a departure to the south-southwest. And he said we should have an outstanding view of Bandar Seri Begawan as we take off, and then head west from the island of Borneo to Singapore. Ooh, I don't think we're gonna get to see much of His Majesty's hangars, because it looks like this is the start of runway 21 right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Singapore Airlines Flight 181 from Bandar Seri Begawan back to Singapore. Please today carrying passengers of our codeshare partners. Duty free shopping is available on this flight. Please refer to the free shop terminal for more information. We wish you a pleasant flight.
Fortunately, none of the Sultan's fleet is out today. I believe there are currently 3 wide-body jets in the fleet. All right, here we go. Takeoff roll, 12:02 p.m. You can see the mosque attached to the airport. There are 8 gates. And boy, am I happy to be rolling down the runway after what I went through on Saturday with AirAsia. course, right next to the airport. Alright, we are now looking at downtown Bandar Seri Begawan. You see the Golden Dome is one of the major mosques, and the first Brunei River Bridge crossing in the distance. And this large compound with the white roofs and two gold domes, that is the Sultan's Palace, where I was outside of the gate the other day. Nestled along the river, that is, I believe, that majestic, like Capitol looking dome structure in white marble. I believe that is the Crown Prince's Palace. That is the first son of the Sultan. Quickly into some clouds here. The Sultan has 12 children with 3 wives, 2 of whom he's divorced with. And the original wife is the queen. Apparently she can't be divorced. I don't know what the status is of their relationship, but the Sultan's first marriage, she becomes the queen, and that is granted for life, that nobility that cannot be revoked by divorce. But then, I didn't realize this, but under the laws of Islam, a man is permitted to have up to 4 wives if he is able to be financially responsible and support all 4 of them. Well, the Sultan has an estimated net wealth of US $20 billion, so I don't think that requirement was an issue for him. But so, if I recall, he has 5 sons and 7 daughters. So the first son is the lucky man who gets to be the crown prince and first in line to the throne when the Sultan should abdicate or pass away. Not very happy about the quality of my monitor here in business class. It says we have a flight time remaining of only 1 hour and 29 minutes. This is going to go by extremely fast. I thought the captain had announced an hour 45, but we just took off a few minutes ago, so the information he provided does not match. But look, this screen is like all grainy and fuzzy and like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? Yeah, this flight is going to go by way too fast, and I did not sleep today, so I really want to put this nice business class seat into flatbed mode and take a nap. We're having a lunch service, so by the time that's done, I might get to nap for 15 minutes before we come into approach into Singapore. I'm hoping the lounge at SIN will have a napping pod area. So this is my first time ever flying on Singapore Airlines. This is my way to get out of Brunei into Laos using United reward miles after AirAsia screwed me over a very light load today in business class. I'm kind of amazed. So 2 days a week, Singapore flies this 777-300 stretched wide body on this short regional route from Brunei over to Singapore. 3 days a week, Singapore Airlines borrows an Airbus 320 narrow-body jet from its subsidiary Silk Air, and then 2 days of the week the flight does not operate. So it's a 5 times a week flight, kind of an odd schedule. Twice a week with this large 777-300 wide body, and 3 times a week with the A320 Silk Air narrow body. We are now along the northwestern coast of Brunei and coming into the oil producing area, the source of the country and the sultan's wealth. You can look at these public housing communities, all the houses the same with the red roofs there in that one area, and then there's a couple others surrounding it. Take a look at some of the beaches here. I did not make it out to this part of Brunei. I did go to the eastern district, Tamborong, to the Ulu Tamborong National Park, and that was really cool. But there's really, the guidebooks just say, like, it's really not much to see or do out in the western districts here for tourists. I see a small airport down there. This is the industrial part of the country where oil and natural gas is produced, mostly from the sea, a few on land wells. We would call public housing projects, but that has a pretty negative connotation. I imagine the houses are pretty decent, but they're built and subsidized by the government. Thanks to its oil wealth, there are no taxes in Brunei, and the government subsidizes many services for its citizens, housing being among them. I'm not sure exactly how it all works, how you get a house in one of these public developed communities, and if you have to pay for it, or if it's sort of a quid pro quo, where if you come out to this western district and work in the oil fields, you get a free house or a reduced mortgage, or but I know a local was telling me that like the police headquarters in the capital, BSB, where we just departed, police officers who elect to live right there at headquarters get a free apartment available to them, and presumably their family as well, although maybe it's only for single officers. I'm not exactly clear, but another orderly block by block development down here, and then trying to get the map to load on my phone. If we're still in Brunei, then we're probably at the westernmost city, I would guess, which is called Kalate something or other. That's a pretty sizable town down there. I'm trying to see if I can get my GPS connection up here. And then right after that town, then you hit the end of Brunei.